Hey guys, and welcome back to the United Star. And we're excited for what is going to start this weekend, and that's none other than the Premier League. Priyaan and I were here 1 year ago making the same predictions, and Priyaan got it right. In fact, I'll have to give it to him. He said City will win the league, and City won it, while I was delusionally saying United are going to be champions. But let's agree, we came close. We came close. but
16 points.
it's better than, yeah, I mean, whatever. But getting to this season and making our predictions for that, it's going to be an interesting season. I mean, when we talk about the top four, it's become a very big battle, especially with the way City is investing. United have invested, Chelsea are investing. It could be a very open title race. But before we get into the top four, let's do our predictions for the bottom three. Priyana, I'll let you go first. If you could say 20, 19, 18, and then I'll let you know if I agree or disagree.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a very boring answer, but I think the teams that are coming up are going to go back down. Brentford, Norwich, and Watford. I'd like to see Brentford stay up because I like, from what little football I've seen of Brentford, I like the way they play football. I like Evan Toney. Like, he seems to be like a real deal. He seems to be a striker who could make a move to a mid-table Premier League team. I'd like to see him do that, but I don't think he's going to be enough to keep Brentford afloat. So I also have a feeling that Brighton might struggle now that they've lost out on Ben White, but I think they should make it because Graham Potter is very sort of, he knows what he's doing, and if he has to just keep the team up, I think he'll manage that. So yeah, I think it's the boring answer of teams that come up, go back down.
I agree with you. And throughout, whenever we've done this video, you've been the logical one and I've been the emotional one. But when it comes to 3 out of 3 teams that you've mentioned, Norwich, I agree. I mean, they lost one of their main players in Benduai to Aston Villa. They haven't made any replacements. They're very centric on Pookie and Cantwell. I don't see any outcome from that side. I'd love if they beat City again this season and, take those 3 points from them. But I agree. I do see them going down. And the same thing goes for Watford. I haven't seen, what Troy Deeney is going to come and do something. I just don't see it happening. But I'm going to live in my football paradise and believe that the game is what it is. And Brentford would pull off something that Sheffield did 3 seasons ago or Leeds did last season. Maybe not such a top finish, but definitely survive. And I am, in fact, going to go with Burnley. I think Burnley's time is coming to an end. I think they've played enough defensive football. They've just managed to stay up, always dangling between that 14th and 16th position. And as you mentioned, Brighton has the manager. It's not that Burnley doesn't, but I just think I want to live in my romantic ideas and allow my Brentford to finish above Burnley. But moving on to, let's talk about, before we go into the top four, because it's more or less out there, right? When we think about it, we're talking of the likes of City, United, Chelsea, and City, United, Chelsea, and who am I forgetting? Liverpool, obviously, the Scousers, the Assholes. But those 4 are going to eventually, fight for the title, and those would make our top 4. It just depends on how we order it up. So before we go into that, if I had to ask you one team that you believe that will underperform from the big 6 or big 8 and outside, if it's a common team as well, which team would you pick?
I think, I know a lot of people are going to get pissed about this, and I can see Prasham calling me up and ridiculing me, but I think Leeds are going to underperform a little because I don't see them doing as well as they have done in the last season. Yeah, I think Leeds will underperform a little.
So you're saying Leeds does like a second season syndrome, and they fall down. So
something similar to that.
So when you say underperform, are we saying outside the top 10? Are we saying just scraping through? Because for a team that finished 9th for the season that they've been promoted, can you see them having something similar to what Sheffield had after they almost qualified for Europa? Not get relegated, but have a very dampened season?
I think they have a good enough squad to definitely stay in the league and very comfortably remain in the league. Um, I think they've made. Uh, I don't know what about their signings. Not too aware, but I don't see them repeating a top 10 finish. Maybe they just scrape it through at 10th position, but I would expect them to finish in the 11th to 15th bracket.
Uh,
That's what I expect
yeah,
for Leicester.
yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I mean, the second season syndrome. Everyone has seen how Leeds play their really pressing side, and we're playing them first off. So if you manage to get out of the press, it's always a high scoring game. But at the same time, it's a game that can be won by the opposition, and the games that will matter would be the teams in between. I think the top six can get the better of them. I don't see any substantial signings that they've made, but yeah, they do have the likes of Bamford, Rafinha, and they are quality players. But will they be able to re-perform? We'll have to wait and watch. But I agree with you. I think a team that I believe will underperform is probably Everton. I think Everton under the new manager, under the way things are going, the full project that they had, and how that's broken down, and the Rodriguez situation, that talks that Richarlison's going to leave. We saw the way they performed in the 4-0 game against us. It seemed very easy. I know it's a preseason, but if it's your last preseason, you put in way more effort. But it just seemed very easy. Whether we are too good or they just underperformed, I'm not sure of that. But I don't think with Rafa Benitez on the seat, they're even going to make a top 10 finish.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
but PG, moving on to before we go to the top four, a team that will overperform, and I think I know the answer to this, and it's a team that recently got tons of money, according to me. But if you had to pick a specific team that would overperform this season, who would it be?
I'm going to say overperform, maybe not in terms of the league position, but in terms of definitely in terms of the football they play. And I just think they haven't done enough to obviously break into the top four or top six, in my opinion. But they're definitely, you could say, maybe doing the right things. Although the club is still a shambles. It's Spurs, obviously. I feel Spurs have obviously in Christian Romero, they've made a very good signing for a centre back. He's been very good for Argentina in the Copa America. And under Nuno Espirito Santo, uh, I think he's a manager who does fit the Spurs profile. I think Spurs is the ideal team for him to have stepped up from Wolves, and I would say step up because they are a bigger team than Wolves. So I don't see them bettering their league position. I think they finished seventh, and I don't see them breaking into the top six. They might just, but I don't see that happening. But I would expect them to not have the disgraceful performances that they had last season, and I probably see them winning the Conference League too, because I don't know of any other opposition that's there to challenge them in that. So hopefully they can break, and if Harry Kane stays, they probably can break their trophy dot.
I
Trophy.
wasn't expecting you to say Spurs when I said 100 million, but well, Harry Kane may just go
Yeah.
for 100 million as well. For me, it's Aston Villa. I think they performed brilliantly last season, finishing 11th with Grealish, and they've really spent their money very well on selling Grealish. I mean, the video that their owner released or the CEO released, that was heartfelt. He's like, we checked the three places that Grealish fits. We got those three players. We know Tuan Zebi's also gone out on loan.
Yeah.
Hopefully that goes well. They've got Leon Bailey, who I really liked and wanted at United, 3-4 years ago. So it's a side that I can see, to say, I mean, I think they can battle it for the top six. And when they
And
get,
Danny Ings too. If getting Danny Ings,
yeah, they've
fantastic
got
signing.
Danny Ings, they've got him, they've got Ashley Young, who's going to be sitting and running on the wing. But as you mentioned, top four, top six, we know what the top six, top four is going to be. That is obvious. But can you just run down 6 to 1?
Right. So my sixth position, I didn't say Villa for overperforming because I felt that obviously, like compared to last season, a sixth place finish would be overperforming. But my my idea of overperforming is more in terms of how the club is sort of done in the transfer window and how we are seeing them, how we expect them to perform in the season. That's why I didn't say that they'll overperform. I expect them to finish top six and sixth place. I think they should finish sixth because, like we said, I think some fantastic signings. They've lost Grealish, I agree, but they've gotten Leon Bailey, who's he's not had the best numbers, but he's really progressive on the wing. Emi Buendia, he was fantastic for Norwich last season in the championship. Obviously, Danny Ings with Ollie Watkins up front, I think it's a fantastic strike partnership. Danny Ings he's been fantastic for Southampton. What a finisher! He just bangs in the goals. He's very pacey also, and obviously Duanzebi at the back to partner Tyron Mings. They have a solid squad, so I think they should finish sixth.
And who do you go fifth, fourth? Just keep go. Give me the order.
Okay. So it's Villa. Then fifth position. I think I go for Leicester because I mean again I think
it's like they just love the fifth spot, right? The way Arsenal used to love.
Yeah,
fourth.
but
Like they just love it. Like they just love the fifth spot.
Yeah, it's just they're on a very in a funny place because I think they're the best of the rest. They obviously don't have as good of a squad as the top four that we know who it is, but otherwise, I think they are a very well-run club. Patson Daka is a fantastic signing. I think with Vardy sort of on the getting to his age now, he wasn't very good last season, not very lethal. Patson Daka is again fantastic. He's very quick. Kelechi Iheanacho has been fantastic for them last season. He got the goal against City in the Community Shield. So uh, Iheanacho again, I mean, Leicester look good, and I think they should finish fifth. Fourth is going to be Liverpool for me. I think they haven't done enough in the window to break into the top three like they did last season. I think they last season they just I don't know how they came up to third place, but this season it looks very unlikely because yeah, man. I mean they've not done enough in the window, and like we said, they have a very aging squad. They've all 30 plus players, very few young players, so it doesn't look very promising for me. Yeah, so that's top. That's the fourth position. Now, the second and the third and second position, I feel is going to be a good fight between United and Chelsea. But obviously, I think United are going to edge Chelsea into the second place. Although Chelsea have a fantastic squad, they have a great depth in their squad. I would still hope and wish for United to push Chelsea and finish second above them. And obviously that leaves the oil money coming first again. The signing Grealish, or signing Kane. You have three first 11s who can three squads who can all three can challenge for the league. It's ridiculous, but that's what football is now apparently. So I mean, if they don't win with this squad, if they don't win everything that there is, I don't know what more can the management of City do or even Pep do. I mean, it's just ridiculous if you don't win with this squad. We say this every season. It's so funny. We say this every season that it's ridiculous if they don't win with this squad. And again, I mean,
PG, they said they didn't have money, but then they just splashed 100 million on one player, and they're gonna splash.
Yeah, and it's very easy for them.
And there's no way to.
I mean, I know it's
until finance.
It's funny because yeah, exactly, and it's funny because as United fans, I mean, we are used to seeing big money signings. We have seen it over the years. Obviously, not as regularly as you would have liked, but we have. But City just it doesn't hurt their pockets. It's just very easy.
You've given me your top six, and I am going to say mine is completely different. Personally, I am tired of you putting United in second. But my top six goes, as you said, you said that Spurs are the team that you believe will overachieve in terms of playing style, but their position would be the same. I think that's where we differ in thought. I think Aston Villa who you have sitting in sixth, I have sitting in seventh, and Spurs sitting in sixth. I think they are a team. They have the players. As you mentioned, Romero's a great signing. Above Spurs for me is the Scousers. I think Liverpool finished fifth. I think enough of, oh, Klopp is a mastermind genius. To be honest, when players come back, Virgil van Dijk, however good he is, and he is a great player, no doubt. When you come back from such an injury, you don't go back to who you were immediately. It takes time.
Also,
And I've seen the preseason games, the way they've been conceding goals. It's been coming through him, from him. Yes, he's played football after so long. It'll take a while for him to recoup. But I just think Leicester has that power in them. The side that they've been building, the players that they're getting, the camaraderie that's there within the group. I think Leicester finished fourth. Chelsea third for me, as you said. I think they're showing their power. I'm just glad they're getting Lukaku so that Haaland is ours next summer. But yeah, now back to the top two and back to where we were last year. And I hope this time I'm right and you're wrong. But City second, United first. And the only reason for that is, I think Johnson said it in his video, that when it comes to getting the players, it depends how they gel in. I think if Harry Kane and Grealish go there, sometimes having too many good people or too many good chefs spoils the dish that you're making, and that's what I can see. I mean, them constantly changing, doing the pep roulette. It may work, but after a point, it's going to stop. I don't see how you manage to fit you fit De Bruyne, Foden, Grealish, Gundogan, Fernandinho in that side. It just
but
becomes
that's what the thing is. Over the long run, over the 70, 60, 70 games that you have to play and so many competitions, that's where it matters. Because if you have Foden on the left one game, next game you put out Grealish, it's just ridiculous to have that much of talent.
I agree.
And then you have Raheem Sterling. It's just ridiculous, and
I agree.
that's where they win. That's where they have the freshness. The team has the freshness. They are always well rested. You look at Rashford in our team. You look at Bruno. They are dead by the end of the season. They can't
That's
run.
where PG, my point comes in for United finishing first now. With bringing in Sancho and Varane, you're arresting that centre back partnership where Harry Maguire was so, worked upon, and then we saw how much he was missing. You're filling in that right wing spot. That player can play anywhere in the front three, so Rashford gets rest. Van de Beek seems to have bulked up and come back. I know there are a lot of jokes whether he'll be able to live up to his expectations. With the way things are going, Paul Pogba doesn't seem to be going out. Dallos, I mean, all players for some reason have come back after their loans and have a point to prove, whether that's Dallo, whether that's Lingard. There is a sense that this side now needs to make progress. And personally, it's gone 3-2, so why not be one? I mean, Ole has gone 3-2, so why not be one? But
I hoped for this the last season also when we did this. I wanted you to be right, but let's hope you're right again.
let's hope I'm right the second time. But before we wrap up this video, just a few more questions and pretty straightforward. First manager to be sacked?
Whew.
I would say
Right.
Arteta, but I just think Arsenal won't do that.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Arsenal. We spoke about the top 7 teams, and I feel ridiculous we're not mentioning Arsenal, but I mean that's the state of that team right now. But I think you're right. I think Arteta has overstayed his welcome already. He's been here for too long, and he hasn't shown the results. He's still living off that FA Cup that he won in this first couple of months, and I don't think he's good enough. Neither does he have a decent enough squad. Looks like Arteta is going, man.
I think I can agree with you. I think come December, with the way things are going, he may leave. I mean, Ben White is not going to make you that much of a difference. Maybe he does. Maybe Siobhan hates on us after this, but I think Arteta has to go for Arsenal to do better. We saw how Tuchel helped Chelsea once Lampard left, so
Yeah.
maybe something like that could work for Arsenal as well. Golden Boot. Taking again, taking that the players are where they are right now.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, if I think Harry Kane moves to City, I think he wins it. He still has a very good shout to win it, even at Spurs. But let's go for with a heavy heart. I think it's going to be Lukaku at Chelsea.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt
It's
really
going
bad.
to hurt, but
Lukaku in the Golden
I
Boot.
think he's the right player to come into Chelsea right now for
Yeah,
them,
I
for
think
the team.
I was talking about this with one of my friends. Chelsea are going to feed the ball to Lukaku, and Lukaku is just going to have tap-ins, and he's
Yeah,
going to be
and
going to become
it's
like
just that
a player
I
as well.
think if Timo Werner was a good finisher, he would easily have 30 goals last season.
Yeah, I
The
think
amount of chances they created,
yeah,
and then you replace Lukaku with replace him up front. I think he gets 30 goals,
yeah,
or he gets to 20 goals.
yeah, yeah. I think he's a great striker, and he fits the profile and the player that they wanted. But guys, that's about it. You've heard our top six, our relegation. We didn't even talk about Arsenal. That's a different video in itself of what's going on out there. Let us know who you think is going to get relegated. Who's going to make the top four? Do United like have a chance? I mean, do you guys think United can even compete for the title? Are we being delusional? But let
You're
us
being delusional.
I mean, is
I'm being
second
delusional.
is second position also delusional with the way Chelsea are going? Let us know whatever you're thinking in the comments below. We love to read it. Do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.